side, we'll be discussing a youth-focused initiative that is shaping how young Nigerians think about values and responsibility. It is the Ethical Living Project 2.0, sponsored by the African Capital Alliance Foundation and implemented by Inactors Nigeria. Joining the conversation, we have with us here Samuel Okpadotun, student winner, Ethical Living Project essay writing competition. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And also with him is Adetoro Adebayo, Head External Relations, African Capital Alliance Foundation. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin the conversation by understanding what the Ethical Living Project 2.0 is all about.
Okay, the Ethical Living Project 2.0 basically is a youth-focused initiative, right? Basically aimed at raising the consciousness for ethical living. So the foundation, over the last 2 years, obviously we developed a curriculum, and then that curriculum, we also identified schools across Lagos, right? And we went into those schools and we actually delivered lectures for over 6 weeks, right? In 20 schools across Lagos, right? We did that this year in the 2.0 version. Basically, all of this is aimed to instill the right values in our future leaders, and that's basically what the program seeks to achieve.
All right, so what motivated ACAF to fund this project? What is the goal?
Okay, so to be able to answer that question, I'll just give a very brief overview of what the ACA Foundation is. The ACA Foundation was established as a force for good to be able to contribute to society, right, and give back to society. Some of our key principles or the pillars that drive the work we do at the foundation would be governance, it would be ethical leadership, and it would be entrepreneurship, right? We at the foundation clearly believe that there are certain values that need to be instilled to obviously translate into a very good society. Values such as respect, integrity, honesty. And so what we had done with this particular project was to weave in all of those, right, and then decide that we were going to go into those schools that we've identified and just begin to do the groundwork, preparing future leaders. And that's basically why we have. So the aim for, or the reason why we've done this is very tied to why the foundation was set up in the first place.
Especially now that moral decadence, we are losing values in our society, so it's timely. Let me come to you, Samuel. Congratulations on winning the competition. But again, share with us what was your experience like, you know, in the competition, and then what was the impression you had about it?
About the Ethical Living Project.
Yeah.
So, my impression of the Ethical Living Project is that it's a project for students, or let me say youth in general, with the aim of teaching them how to make the right ethical decisions. You know, imagine being in a situation where you have to make, a decision either to be honest or not, like to make either an ethical decision or not an ethical decision. So the Ethical Living Project is basically a type of project to help you within the situation, like the correct decision to make, which is to be ethical at all times, no matter what, either to give you an advantage or a disadvantage, because it's a saying that says that in every advantage there's always a disadvantage, and in every disadvantage there's always an advantage. Moreover, during the 6 weeks course of the Ethical Living Project, we were shown several case studies, and there was one case study that inspired me a lot, which is about a lady called Marianne Jones. She's an athlete, but during an event she took performance enhancing drugs, and then she was caught, and after she was sentenced to jail for 6 months, this implicated her and also her friends, because they thought that they suspected them because there was a chance of them knowing that she took drugs, but they didn't tell anyone, and this implicated her friends also and also her family. So this tells me that the Ethical Living Project is basically for students to know that every action has a consequence, that every single thing we do has a consequence, and for example, and decisions we make not only affect us but also affect many others. Relating to the words spoken by John Porter Stewart, which says that a single decision can change the course of history and affect the fate of many others. Thank you.
So for you right now, going through this process, what have you been able to draw from this, and how has it impacted your life since after the project?
Number one, I'll say honesty. Because for me, before I was, let's say, a neutral person.
What do you mean neutral?
Like, I don't care what matters. Like, I only care about myself.
Okay.
So there are times whenever situation happens in class, and then someone is asked to be a witness, and I was there, but I won't talk. I'll just say I don't want to cause trouble, because if I speak, I'll either be going against someone or being in favor of someone. But after the ethical living project, I became someone who is honest. Like, no matter what situation I'm in, or for example, whenever an event transpires in the class, they always come to me, because then I'll say the truth
So you
about
always stand
everything
for the
that
truth.
happened. Like, because there's some situations that there needs to be a witness to find something about it. Yeah. So, and moreover, through the ethical living project also, I learned some few things, which is about what would I say, sir? Before, whenever I get to class and I find class dirty, sometimes I won't sweep, because I'll be like, I'm not on duty and all. But after this project, I've started sweeping the class and everything, making the surroundings clean and all. Even my parents noticed some few changes within me.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. So let me come to you now, Aditor. Can you share some of the impacts the project have had so far? I mean, I have seen one.
Yes,
a clear example.
Absolutely. Samuel here is testimony to what has been done. But what I would say is, when we first started this project last year, basically, we were able to impact about 534 students across Lagos. But we scaled up this year, and so we've now impacted over 2,000 students across. So we started off with 10 schools, sorry, but now we've scaled up to 20 schools. So we were able to impact 2,000 students across Lagos. There was an essay competition, and I think that the results, or what we saw from the essay competition, because I also read some of those scripts, including his own, we could see the thought process which these students who have gone through that 6-week training program were able to put down on paper. So it's really very inspirational seeing that. In this round, again, over 2,000 people participated. We had over 1,400 essay competitions submitted, and Samuel here emerged.
So what was the criteria for selecting the winner?
Okay, so obviously we used the curriculum and the syllabus. We also had external people who would mark and go through the scripts, yes. So WAEC, there was a standard in terms of grammatical, but also just the ability to be able to put your thoughts together, ability to express yourself, right? And we know that with things like this, there should be a conviction. So when people are writing, you can easily pick, and you see Samuel over here.
So what's the next line or next phase for the Ethical Living Project?
For the Ethical Living phase, the next phase, we're going to scale up significantly. We would like to continue to make an impact in this target demography. So we would be taking it way up in terms of our numbers, in terms of our reach, in terms of our focus. We will be significantly scaling up for the 2026 edition of this project.
All right, let me final question for you, Samuel. Why do you think the Ethical Living Project is good for young people?
They say that youths are the leaders of tomorrow, and looking at Nigeria's situation, whereby there are different, like, for example, lack of infrastructure, corruption, and many more, embezzlement of funds by those authorities, and many more. And and the youths are going to be the leaders who will remove Nigeria out of its current situation. Nigeria needs leaders that will be able to move out of the situation. So ethical or ethics are the tools that we can use to fight against corruption, that Nigeria will be able to stand as a country as its own, like a country that can stand on the same level as countries such as USA and China, a country which its citizens will be proud to say to themselves that they're citizens of Nigeria. So for youths, most of us believe that USA, China, and many more are much more better than Nigeria. We embody other people's ambition, destroying our own prestige. Like, we vision their country far better than us because of the current situation of Nigeria, and the youths are going to be the ones to move Nigeria to the current situation. So the Ethical Living Project is very good for youth because it teaches them one single thing, which is ethics, because ethics are values that guide our daily principles, and these principles are what the youth will use to move Nigeria out of this situation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So for you, any last words before we go?
Yes, so from the foundation, ACA Foundation, we are extremely honored to be part of this journey. We're just grateful to be part of contributing our own quota to society and to nation building. And we hope to do much more because, I mean, he's kind of described the Nigeria of our dreams. And so that's what we hope to achieve. Renewed hope, basically.
Renewed hope. All right. Thank you so much, Samuel Okpadotun and Aditoro Adebayo, for sharing insight on the Ethical Living Project 2.0. Thank you so much for your time on the conversation. All right, we'll go on a short break now. When we return, Abimbola and Ajibola will share their conversations with you.